And this is worth repeating though, because you want your listings to be sellable and you want them to be ready now. Welcome, I'm Becky with Click Fluency. If you don't already know me, I'm glad that you're here today. I know that we are on the just brink of busyness and craziness, but this is something that I wanted us to go ahead and talk with now. So let's talk about those foundational pieces. Okay, so what you want to do, this is foundational, and these are things that if you have watched previous webinars, I've dug into this deeper, and this is worth repeating though, because you want your listings to be sellable and you want them to be ready now. Obviously, yesterday is always the best day, but when you're looking at your listings, and we'll dig into this more when we're talking about your Q4 action plan, you want to make sure they're set up now for success, for conversions, and they're optimized, things like that. I've like I said, dug into that a lot more in other webinars, but that is something that's just going to happen if you're going to have a successful Q4, and especially if you want it to be better than last year, which all of us, I'm sure, want that for, when you're selling on Amazon, that's what you're wanting, right? And you're also going to want to make sure that you're growing your brand awareness. Now, some of this should be happening off of Amazon as well. This is where you should be having a bigger plan, big marketing plan, and looking at your digital space plan, which is different than, more of the non-digital ways of marketing. But you're going to want to make sure that you are doing things outside as well of Amazon to be successful and to set up for success too, right? So making sure you're doing that. There's also within Amazon, there's other ways of growing that brand awareness. And we've talked and touched on that before. Just as an example, some things would be making sure, you're doing Amazon posts. If you have a brand store page, if you have brand registry, doing things extra to get more visibility. Advertising is the first thing people think of, and that is true, but making sure you're growing your brand awareness. Okay, and then the next thing is you're really going to want to make sure that your seller account is set up for maximizing sales, right? You want to make sure everything in your account is in good health. You want to look through your account health, your performance notifications. Everything for your account should be healthy. This is important because you're going to have that in good standing with Amazon to make sure that you can sell. In the past, they've limited even what you can send in with your quantities. They've been doing that, especially the last 2 years, just making sure that everything is set up so that you are ready to go. This would include also making sure you have fulfilled by Amazon offers. That's going to help with your conversions, as I've mentioned before. Just make sure everything is in good health, right? It's healthy. Things are set up for you to be ready to go and allow sales to just keep coming through. Another thing, and this is why I really wanted to do this webinar now instead of October 1st or any other time, because you want to be in stock now. You want to start sending in inventory now. As you've probably already started to see, like we have, there have been slowing down in receiving times, transit times to Amazon's warehouse. This is something that is important to plan ahead and then also plan above and beyond for Q4. And I've dug into more about how to plan for your inventory levels during Q4, but just to give you a kind of a brief snippet, you're going to want to look at your past sales, and then you're going to want to increase that by a percentage, depending on depending on the goals that you have that we'll dig into later, would be ideal, because you do not want to run out of stock with your Amazon listings. That actually can really hurt the listings itself with things like your keyword ranking and where you're appearing on searches. And Amazon's algorithm does not like you running out of stock. And, there's some things that will be outside of your control. Obviously, if you have any, manufacturing things where there's delays or things like that. It seems like a lot of that is cleared up, but if that is, there's some things you can't help. But if you can, you want to be in stock. Another foundational piece, you want to be planning your marketing promotional activities now. There are deadlines that are coming up very, very quickly for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, things like that, especially things like lightning deals. If you ever, wanted to do that, there should be thought behind what type of promotions you run. And when I say promotions, I'm including things in there like lightning deals. I'm including coupons. I'm including what is called promotions themselves. I'm including prime exclusives, all under that umbrella of promotions. But you want to go ahead and map those out now, especially those that have deadlines, because you may miss out on the deadline of even being able to be considered for a certain type of promotion if you don't get it in time. In addition to that, you also want to make sure you're planning out your average, like the spend within that, your marketing budget within those promotional activities that you're going to do. So you should be mapping that out now for Q4.